welcome to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be using products that only start with the letter C. Yes, you heard that correct, the letter C, because my name starts with a C. So I think I saw this challenge or type of video from Kathleen Lights, and I think in her video she said she got hers from Nikki Tutorials. So I thought this would be a super fun way to kind of challenge myself to use products that only start with the letter C. And there really wasn't that many. And the bonus is that all of these products are affordable and you can find them all at Ulta, Walmart, CVS, any of those places. But before we get into this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time that I upload. And if you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. Okay guys, so I realized I didn't have a brow pencil with the letter C. So changed it out for another affordable product, and that is the e.l.f. Precise Brow Pencil in Taupe. So that is what I use for my brows. But now we're going to go into eyes, and I did feel my lids kind of, you know, prime them and prep them for shadow. I use my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hylaronic Creamy Concealer. So for eyes, I want to go in with the California Love Colourpop palette. This is one of my favorite palettes from Colourpop. You can find this on Ulta. Can you guys see a difference in the lighting? I'm not sure if you can. I added like a reflector here to kind of bounce some light onto my face. Hopefully this works really well. Let me know down below if you do see a difference. It is a cloudy day, so it's really good to see if it works. I'm going with this palette, and I'm going to go in with the first shade, which is G Gnarly, I think. Fluffy brush, and this is the Morphe E27. And I'm going to just apply this to my crease. It's a very light shade. I'm just going to apply this to the crease as a transition. This palette is very warm and bronzy, which I love, which is why it is one of my favorites. But the shadows themselves are super creamy and easy to blend and work with. That's what I love about Colourpop. Colourpop is one of my favorite brands. Now we're going to take it a little bit deeper with the Bay right here. And apply that a little bit lower. And I'm just going to build this up just slightly. Going with this super warm shade, which is in Gold Rush. I think I'm going to go for a very warm eyeshadow look. And I'm using this on the outer corner and bringing it in. I love the way this is applying. Oh gosh, these shades are so pretty. I haven't done like a really warm look in a while, so I am loving this. So pretty. Okay, now I want to go in with a shimmer shade. I'm going to go in with this shade. It is Diego. This gold is fantastic. It is so good. It is like the best gold, and it's so pigmented. And I'm going to use my finger because I'm going to get the most pigment from using my finger. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to apply that. Should we do it all over the lid? No, we're just going to do it here on half of the lid, and I'm going to go in with a darker brown. Do you guys see that? Ah. I love this shade. Every time I use this palette, I always seem to pick up this gold because it is just stunning. Alright, now that we have that shade, I want to go in with this dark brown, which is in Mission. And I'm going to apply that here to the outer corner. Just to deepen it up a little bit, give it some dimension. I'm going to go back into the Bay down here and kind of just blend some color up here and blend out the edges. Here we go. So pretty. So I did get some fallout here in the corner, so I'm going to just clean that up with a makeup wipe. So since we did a lot of blending with the darker shade on the outer, gold has kind of started to fade a little bit, so I do want to add it just so it is a little bit more of a pop. So I'm just going to add a little more of that Diego shade and apply that. back to the lid. And this shade is so pigmented, you don't even need a glitter adhesive or anything. Okay, and then back into that Mission dark brown and just tap here on the outer corners. That's all I'm going to do. I want it to be just super wearable. I'm not going to be wearing any falsies because I think Colourpop does have falsies on their website, but I don't have them. So we're just going to stick to mascara, lash primer. So let's go ahead and get into that. So I'm going to curl my lashes first. Alright, now that I've curled my lashes, I'm going to go in with the Covergirl Lash Blast Amplifying Primer. I have never used this, but you guys know I love a lash primer. I feel like it does so much for my lashes. It really helps the mascara last longer and really makes the lashes extra voluminous and adds a lot of length. So then I let the lash primer sit for just a little bit. I don't want it to get totally dry nor have it super wet. I feel like if you wait for that good in between, your lashes are going to be super long. I find if you go in while the lash primer is wet, it does not work as good. So if you've done that before where you put the lash primer on and went straight in with mascara and you're like, that did absolutely nothing, that's why. So just give it a little second and then go in and you're going to see a big difference. The mascara I'm going to go in is with the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Uncensored Mascara. This is a newer mascara. This is what the wand looks like. The formula is a little, it's not a little, it's pretty like wet. Wait for it to dry a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like you like to let the formula get a little dry and then you get the best out of it. Because sometimes when it's really wet, it just doesn't do anything for the lashes. At least that's what I find with my lashes. So we're going to go in with this. And I love this wand because it grabs every single lash. Okay, and then I'm going to tightline with the CoverGirl Ingot and Cocoa Ink. This is not black, but it's like a dark brown, so it should work. Okay, so I am not a fan of this liner. It's like hardly coming off on my waterline. It did a little bit in my tight line, but I'm going to grab a different one just because I don't like it. I feel like it's hardly showing any color. Use an affordable option. I'm going to use the Milani Stay Put Waterproof Eyeliner. You guys know I absolutely love these, and this is just in the Hooked on Espresso. I don't know how I don't already know that because I use this all the time. It's one of my absolute favorites. Okay, so now we can finally move to complexion, and to prime, I'm going to prime with my Catrice Prime and Fine Poreless Blur Primer. This is a really good pore filling primer. I don't find that it keeps my oils under control for very long. So if you are more on the oily side, this probably won't keep you nice and mattified throughout the day. But it still is a really good primer. If you're not worried about oil, then this is good to go just for a pore filling primer. And then I'm going to use my Hylaronic Acid Setting Mist by Colourpop Pretty Fresh line. And just kind of spray this on my face. Little hydration for the rest of the face. And then I'm going to go in with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I did mention this, I think, in my last favorites video. If you don't want a whole lot of coverage but a tinted moisturizer, this is the perfect thing. It gives you a little more coverage though than a typical tinted moisturizer. That's why I love it, because I like a little bit more of coverage, and this just gives me that. So you guys are gonna see. And as long as I use a mattifying primer, this will work for me, and it'll last all day. But do you guys see just how dewy and healthy my skin looks, but everything looks even? So that is why I love this product. And I also have mine in the shade Medium 12W. such a pretty glow. Then I'm going to go in with one of my favorite concealers, which is the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer in Golden Natural. This concealer is hydrating while still being full coverage, because I love a full coverage for my under eyes. And this also will add a little extra coverage around my cheek area, which I do like. So that is why if I'm using something that's a little lighter with foundation, go in with the full coverage concealer and it'll make everything look a little bit more full coverage. Now if you don't want that, go in with a more medium concealer and that'll work too. So we're just going to blend this out. If you have not tried this concealer, you absolutely need to. It is so good. It reminds me so much of my favorite Too Faced Born This Way multi sculpting concealer. That is one of my favorites because I love how hydrating it is. The Tarte Shape Tape is just a little bit too much for me. Like, I love the coverage, I just don't like how dry it looks underneath my eyes. See, it just adds that extra coverage right here that I need into here. And I just love the way the skin looks. So now I want to do a little bit of a cream contour. And I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter stick. And I have this one in Deep Dark 190C. And since this is super pigmented, I am just going to apply it to the brush. And then just tap some off. And then go in. Because you don't want to go in with too much. Like I did in that last video, if you guys saw that. I looked like a hot mess. But this foundation stick really does work as a cream contour. It blends out really nicely. And I feel like it's the perfect shade. And then if it starts to get a little harsh, just kind of use your sponge and voila. Here where I live, they're starting the phase 1 and started opening up stuff. And at first I thought I would be going out to those places, but I actually kind of don't want to. I almost feel like weird to go out. Does anybody else feel that way? I just feel like it feels weird to even think about going out to these like non-essential places just because we're still dealing with what's going on. I don't know if I feel completely safe going out just yet, but maybe I will over time. I mean, I do want to go, like, I want to go to Home Goods, I want to go to Marshall's, I want to go to all those places, but deep down I'm like, but do I really want to go to those places? Now that we are all concealed and contour, we are going to go in with a cream blush. I haven't really experimented or used many cream blushes, so we're going to give this a try, and this is the Colourpop blush stick in Under Pressure. So I want to apply this before I go in with my powder. So this is what it looks like. It is like a very hot coral, but I think if we apply if we apply lightly, then it should work. I'm just going to go in actually with my sponge, take just like this in here, and kind of pick some up and then tap some off and then go in, just so we don't get too much. I think I see a little bit. Okay, on this cheek I didn't take any excess off, I just went straight in, and it's actually pretty sheer, so it's definitely going to be something that's going to be buildable. So you might be able to swipe it on and then blend it out, but I've already started this way. We're just gonna keep applying it this way. I wouldn't typically use this kind of color with this look, but actually, we're going to go on top with another blush. The description on it was, I think it said toasted peach, and I said, ooh, that sounds pretty. So it's actually a lot darker than I thought it was gonna be. This is in the shade Too Cool for School, and it looks like that, very like kind of bronzy looking. So I'm gonna try to apply this. This is in the Super Shock formula, so I'm not really sure what might be best to use. Maybe with this synthetic brush it might work. Tap some off on my hand and then go in. This is what the shade looks like right there. So it's really not that dark. Just in the pan it looks that way. But it is a very toasted peach look. And I'm seeing it on my cheeks now. I kind of covered up that other shade. Okay guys, we are back. The camera overheated, so I went ahead and set my under eyes, and I used the Covergirl Trublend Minerals Loose Mineral Powder and Translucent. This is so smoothing. It looks really good. And I absolutely love that blush, even though it looks super dark with that. In the pan, it really does not come off that way. It comes off like as that toasted peach as it describes. So this is super pretty. So now we're going to go into highlights, and I have the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek and Wisp. And this as well looks pretty dark. I'm hoping it doesn't come off like that. On my cheeks, I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques. I don't know what brush it is. I think it's like a setting powder brush, I think, but I like to use it as highlight brush. So I'm just going to tap in here. Ooh, yes. That is pretty. Definitely not as dark. Ooh, that's pretty. That looks like nice and wet on the cheeks. I love that. And then in person, it doesn't look as blinding. I think the lights are kind of making it that way. So you could tone it down a bit, but I'm going to add a little more. That is so pretty. And I do want to add a little bit of this to my inner corner here. And to my brow bone. Pretty. I love this highlight. It looks so good. We're going to finish off the eyes, and I'm going to do exactly what I did in my crease on the lower lash line, but I am going to add a little more of this Mission shade because I want to kind of smoke the lower lash line out. I'm taking that Mission shade with this definer brush, and I'm going to push this along the lash line here. And then I'm going to take a nice, it's like almost like a pencil brush, but a little bit more fluffy, and I'm going to go in with this shade here to blend out the edges. This is one of my favorite brushes to really buff everything out, and this is the Morphe M506. This is one of my favorite brushes. All right, that is perfect. And then all I have to do is add some mascara to my lower lashes. All right, and then the next step is to set my brows, and I'm going to use the Covergirl Easy Breezy Brow in Clear. I have never used this before, so we're going to see how this is. Ooh. So it's just like your typical brow gel, but it's definitely making my brows look feathery, which I love. You guys know that. So we'll see once that dries if it gets hard or if it stays pretty lightweight. And then for lips, I'm going to go in with my Colourpop Lippy Pencil in BFF2. You guys can see it is so dirty because I use this a lot. I love this. And I'm just going to line the lips. Then I'm going to use the Colourpop Appy Lux lipstick. Just a little bit, but I don't want it to be too peachy. Then to top it off with some gloss, I'm going to go in with my Colourpop Moonchild lip gloss. And And then to set the face, I want to be a little bit dewy, so I'm going to go in with my Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. If you are looking for a dewy spray, I'm telling you guys, get this. You are going to look so dewy and fresh. This is the most dewy spray that I've ever tried, and it's affordable. I'm going to shake it up, and I'm only going to spray like the outside of my face because here in the center I do get oily, so I don't tend to spray luminous sprays here in the center. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought that was really fun, just using makeup brands that start with the C, and really there's not that many. And the good part is that they're all affordable. I love all these brands so much, so it was a win-win for me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please give this a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!